Hey there, Wastelanders, it's Brother Mike, and thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to be going over the man himself, Robert House. We're going to be going over what we see of him in the show, so a little bit of the lore from the games, and then, of course, some theories about what he's really trying to do in the second season of the Fallout show. And before we start, oh my goodness, 284 subscribers as of right now. Yesterday, I was just thanking you guys for barely even 250, and the day before that, just hitting 200. My lord, thank you guys so much. Now, some people had some qualms, you could say, about the way he was acting in episode 1 and which one was him in episode 1. And of course, as any fans know, that silly Anthony House business. But before we get into any of that, let's go over who Mr. House is. CEO of Robco Industries, and the sole reason the New Vegas Strip still stands 280 years after the bombs dropped. Robert not only predicted the bombs dropped, but was also a genius on top of that, making some of our favorite things in the Fallout universe, such as the Pip-Boy, Liberty Prime, some of the robots you see in every game. He is everywhere, and so is his company. But there's one thing that he didn't tell anyone, and that's that the world was going to end, and that he was preparing for it. What did Mr. House do? He made a whole army of Securitrons for himself to protect the strip that he was saving by the Lucky 38, which had not only lasers on top, but things that were able to jam and block out the detonation signals of some of the bombs dropping. And he's the sole reason that New Vegas as a whole is still even there, which is pretty cool. You gotta hand it off to him. House believes in order and stability through control. He doesn't really like to work with people much and always thinks he's the smartest in the room, but you kind of gotta hand it to the man. He kind of is, besides putting so much trust into the courier. And centuries later, he rules from the Lucky 38. Or at least, that's where we see when Fallout New Vegas starts. He manipulates factions like the NCR and Caesar's Legion to get what he wants, and then uses his Securitrons to oppose his will onto others. But his true ambitions are not even on the planet he's on right now, but is in space. He wants to spend out colony ships and, kind of save humanity through his efforts, because he's the only one that can truly bring back the old world. In short term, Mr. House is a cold, calculated autocrat who would easily give up personal freedoms for the advancement of the human race. And now that we've gone over Mr. House, what have we seen of him in the show? Well, in the very first scene of the very first episode, we are shown him. But there's two of him? What's going on? Well, let's look into who Robert House is actually based off of. Real-life millionaire tech lord Howard Hughes. Bar for bar, owned vast amounts of property on the New Vegas Strip, lived in a penthouse on the New Vegas Strip, was a very reclusive genius that just wanted to work on his airplanes, and was even suspected of using a body double, just like we see in the show. Now, if Mr. House knew the bombs were going to drop, and that the inevitable doom of America and the whole world was coming soon, do you really think he would take the time to even care about the public-facing side of his company? No. So what does he do? He gives someone who looks just like him an offer they can't refuse. Hey, act like me, gain all the perks of being me, and all you have to do is run my company and act through me and just pass everything through me. Who wouldn't take that on? Now, obviously, I don't think after the next episode we're going to be seeing too much of the Mr. House double, as he's not shown much in any of the promotional material after their meeting between Cooper and the real House, where I presumably think the real House is going to murder the public-facing House in front of Cooper to prove a point, but Who knows? And then we see him again at Cooper's Veterans of Anchorage, Alaska meeting, where he kind of ambushes him in the bathroom and pokes at Cooper, almost telling Cooper, hey, dude, I know what you're up to. He also drops that insane line about back one man into a corner and he'll do anything to get out. Back billions into a corner, tisk tisk, and then goes on to how he says everyone has a option for saving the world, but everyone's is different. Kind of like the same sentiment that the Ghoul gives in the season 1, which I think is really cool. But we're seeing him plant these seeds. Obviously, he already knows Cooper Howard is going to come and try and kill him. We know from the trailer and such. Can't wait for that next episode. And that's about as much as we've seen of him in the show, besides in season 1, where he's at the meeting with Vault Tech talking about, you know, kind of ending the world. But I think this was far after he knew the world was going to end. And on top of that, with the new stuff coming out now, that wasn't even really Mr. House, but would it have really mattered in the end? I don't think so. And we also know from the show that there is a very big emphasis on Mr. House needing cold fusion. So, why would he need cold fusion? But it's literally right under all of our noses. If we go to the Lucky 38, especially after we deliver the chip, Mr. House will bring us to the basement, which, as he says, trips to the basement are rarely educational, but this time it was. If you push yourself through the force field, you can go up to the reactor, and it doesn't seem to be operational anymore, and going on the computer, it's confirmed this reactor is destroyed. The same reactor he talks about failing when the bombs dropped. Pretty clever for you guys to sneak that in there. It makes sense. He's using an old generator that he didn't plan to use when the bombs dropped, hence why it malfunctions and why he's still looking for cold fusion. He doesn't want to be independent off of the Hoover Dam's power. No, he wants everything in-house. He wants it all in-house. He doesn't want to have to deal with siphoning power from Hoover Dam, which probably doesn't even work at this point, as they've shown mostly everything is destroyed in Vegas, so who knows, but dam's probably not operational. I would be very confused how the dam's fully operational, yet the strip is fully empty and has death claws in it, but that's not what this video is going over. But yes, Mr. House is looking for cold fusion so he can finally be independent, and I also think he's going to use it for something more. Maybe to connect to more Securitrons within his, outside of his radius of connection. Maybe he has some projects that really need that type of power. Who knows? So yeah, I am really excited to see where they go with Mr. House and cold fusion. I really like how they're sprinkling stuff here and there, and how Victor was poking at the Ghoul about it, which obviously, as we know, Mr. House sends Victor out to Goodsprings to literally wait for the courier. He also has Victor pay the Mojave Express for the delivery of the few items. You know, the other ones were like, I guess fake in case they got caught, and then there was a platinum chip, and then Benny found out about it. You guys know the whole story. But yeah, and now Victor is waiting in a abandoned location, somehow not knowing why he's there, just like how he doesn't know why he's there in Goodsprings, and then why he's following us. Oh, it's because Mr. House got word or saw somehow that the Ghoul had shown up in the area and is trying to kite him back to him. And I have a feeling that we are going to continue to see Victor kind of show up in places. And he doesn't know why he's there, but then he gives us a little bit of lore, and you're like, oh, Mr. House, why you be creeping on Lucy and the Ghoul like that, dog? Come on. Just flat out say, come to the Lucky 38, I got some stuff to show you. But, speaking of the Lucky 38, The state of the strip in the newest episode is scary. It's empty, deserted, and what do we find there but 2 death claws and some death claw eggs? It seems that the strip has been overrun, and on top of that, the entrance in which the strip is, it seems all the buildings where Freeside was got torn down, and then they put a shopping mall up on the side, and there's some trailers, but Freeside is around apparently, so it looks like Freeside even moved too. How cool. And did Mr. House perfect the mind control technology and is potentially using it on the Death Claws outside of the Lucky 38 as an extra layer of protection after something crazy happened? Or did those Death Claws move in after the NCR attacked and made a whole lot of commotion because Mr. House pushed them out of the Hoover Dam? Throwback to my theory about that. But that leads me on to my next theory, which is off the same basis that sometime within those 200 years, Mr. House perfected the mind control technology and just kind of had it there in case he really needed to use it. And one day, a man from 200 years in the past, a friend that maybe worked at Vault Tech or he knew from some Vault Tech-like meetings or such, reaches out to him talking about Shady Sands, saying, I found this place, they aren't supposed to be here, it goes against me and Vault Tech's plan, I need your help destroying him. And meanwhile, all that is happening, Mr. House has already pushed the NCR out of the strip, and they keep attacking the strip, hence that end credit of the downed NCR vertibird on the strip. There obviously was some clash between Mr. House and the NCR at the strip, which led to the Death Claws being lured there from Quarry Junction. It's only a few miles away, especially if you look at it on the map. I mean, very, very close, very short distance, especially if there were vertibirds, miniguns going off on the vertibirds, Securitron rockets going off. That's a whole lot of commotion and would definitely draw something in, and I think that's what happened. But from that, the strip is empty and destroyed. The NCR keeps pursuing the strip no matter what. And someone comes to Mr. House with a proposition, and that person is Hank, begging for his help. He knew he was still there. Please help me destroy the NCR, and I'll do anything. And so that's what Mr. House does. It makes sense. We don't see Hank ever having the mind chip working, yet the guy who delivers the chip has been walking with it for at least 20 to 30 minutes. That's a 4 walk with a Brahmin. And on top of that, he's repeating the same phrase. His head doesn't explode, and all he does is collapse on the ground. Who have we seen in the show that has the technology working? Mr. House. The only thing we've seen Hank able to do is have a guy speak through someone else, and even that was barely coherent. The other dude was saying, oh, what's our nuclear war on the Mojave? What's on the Mojave? How would Hank know that? How would Hank get all the way to the Mojave wasteland without his power armor, or with Betty too? Betty's considerably older than him. He's dragging Betty all the way out to the Mojave wasteland, capturing a Mojave soldier, finding a nuke that seems to be outfitted with Robco technology, with Robco-made screens, with people are saying a Pip-Boy, but you look at it and it is a totally altered thing from a Pip-Boy. It doesn't really look much like a Pip-Boy, especially with the animations. You think Hank's going to take time to have those animations? No. I think he had help from someone, and I think that someone is Mr. House, and is especially why Hank is so aggressive over the radio. Yeah, you helped me in the past, but I'm going to perfect this stuff, and I'm going to make sure it works all of the time, and then you'll owe me this time. You'll owe me for what you helped me with, because really, it makes no sense how Hank was able to get any of that stuff, especially with how he is still working on it as of now in this show to get it to work. So stuff is starting to fall in place. It's very clear that Hank got help somehow from somebody, and potentially that person is Mr. House. So, call me crazy, but it could be a possibility, and I want to know what you guys think about it. If you have some theories on who helped Hank drop the bombs, or Mr. House, or what we're going to see in the show, or about anything about Fallout at all, please let me know down below. I love hearing your guys' theories. I love arguing with you about them in the comments. I love debating with you. And thank you guys so much again for 284 subscribers. Insane. Thank you guys so much. Later tonight, I'm going to be doing a Q&A live stream and such, playing through New Vegas, of course, so hopefully I can catch you guys then. Now, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and always remember, you're cared for, you're loved, and you stay safe out there, Wastelanders.